Welcome back, and today we have the KD15. This is one of the better looking colorways out there in my opinion. Kind of gives you this dark vibe to it with a little bit of color. And we know KD likes his shoes to be somewhat colorful, so this shoe is no exception. Also, this shoe probably should have been called the New Beginnings because KD is requesting a trade from his team, but that's a different topic for a different day. But without further ado, let's get into the details of this shoe. And here's a close-up of the colorway so you can see all the details. And in good lighting, you are going to see the dark blue right here and the black that mix. And you can see that all throughout the shoe. But when the lighting is a little bit darker, this shoe is going to look more black than this dark blue right here. You're not going to see it as well. And we can demonstrate that. I'll let you take a look so you can see what the difference looks like. And here we go. KD loves this color in his shoes, and we can see that with the upper, especially for the tongue. We can see all the graphics right there. Might be a little bit hard to see with the shoelaces. And inside the tongue, more graphics. This is what this one looks like. For the other one, we got a different graphic. We see KD, the highlighter pink and the highlighter yellow, lots of times in his shoes. Really stands out with the Nike sign. Also, for the materials of this shoe, the majority of the upper is going to be this textile kind of mesh material right here in the front. And if we get a close-up, you can see that some areas look more like a mesh, and then it has other areas that are a little bit more fuller. So that is going to help out with the breathability, but then we're going to explain why this shoe is not the most breathable. And then we look in the back. Once again, it has this synthetic material with the nylon type material up here. And I do love a pull tab, especially in a basketball shoe. You know, it makes it easy for on and off. Let's get into some of the specs of the shoe. It does come with a cage right here for the midsection of the shoe. And this does help out a whole lot with the lacing system. When you're tying up these shoes, because it does pull the cage inward, it does give you that nice support and secure feel for your feet. And also, for the heel area, I didn't have any problem. So the fit of the shoe is going to be real great. And for the sizing, if you're a regular or narrow footed, just go true to size and that should fit real great. And if you're a wide footer, just go half a step up and it's going to fit nicely. I am a wide footer and that's what I did, and this shoe felt real good. Now we take a look at the bottom of the shoe. You're going to have for the midsole a full length Cushline, and then on top of that you're going to have the Zoom Strobel. And we can see the Zoom Strobel through the shoe right here. You can see right there that whiteness underneath the shoe. That's going to be the Zoom Strobel. And the combination of these two materials is going to be very cushioned for this shoe, but you're also going to feel the ground in this shoe. You have very good ground feel, and I do like that, especially if you like being a fast player. Plus, you get this shank plate right here. It's going to be a plastic type shank plate, but still you're going to get a real nice energy return. Because when you have a shank plate, you can feel the ground right there in the center. Then when you push off, you get that nice energy return. So that's nice to have in a shoe like this. Now we take a look at the bottom of the shoe. We can see the traction pattern, and it's very good. We can see that it's all over the place, and it's going to aid for all those stops. It's going to be very grippy. Now for this colorway, you are going to get it translucent, as you can tell. So just remember, make sure you're getting into the habit of wiping if you're playing with translucents, because they do attract more dust. Now for the thickness of the traction, I would have preferred it was a little bit more thicker. This is kind of medium thickness, so it is going to perform very good in indoor courts. Just for outdoor courts, be wary that it can wear out a lot faster. Some extra details I want to talk about this shoe is that the firmness of this shoe. This shoe is going to be a little bit more firmer than some of the other shoes I like to play basketball in, and I'll give you some examples. So if we get right here, the Kyrie Infinity, which is one of the newer shoes, it does flex a little bit easier right here. So that's something to be aware of, okay? So in this type of shoe with the material, it is going to be a lot more breathable, okay? And because of these reasons, because it's not as thick, and plus how it's designed, you're also going to get a little bit more flex right there in the forefoot. Also, another shoe that I like is this one right here that I love the ball in, which is the Kawhi shoe, and this one as well. It is more plush than the Kyrie Infinity, but you also get real good forefoot flex. You can see that right there. Okay, so I love that in these type of shoes. Also the design, it is a little bit more flatter in the front in these type of shoes. So I love that in my type of basketball shoes, because I like my shoes to be low profile, and I feel that they're very flexible and I can cut and turn real quick, and those shoes provide a lot of that for me. And with all that said, if we compare it with the KD15, like we mentioned, it is going to be a little bit more bulkier, as you can tell. Okay, but not as bulky as maybe a LeBron type shoe. Okay, and it is firmer, but still, despite those differences, the shoe feels real good, and you can feel you could do a lot of different things. On previous KD shoes, I felt that maybe the shoe rocked a little bit too much, especially the first ones. For me, I tried to stay away from those because I felt that maybe my foot was going to slip. But with this one, I mean, it feels real great on foot, and I don't have any of those problems. So they're constantly improving the KD line, and we can say that this right here is kind of one of the better shoes that KD has brought out. Gives you a little bit of everything. Also, I didn't want to forget to mention that an important detail is this shoe is not going to be that breathable. Okay, if we do the light test, which we're going to, you're going to see that the tongue is the area that's the most breathable of this shoe. Even though you can't see it in the design, there are going to be a lot of different holes right here in the tongue that is going to allow for air to ventilate throughout the shoe. But for the remainder of the shoe, it's not going to be that breathable, because this shoe does feel very plush, as you can tell. Even though the top material, when you get a close-up, it does look like it's mesh-like, but this tongue, as you can see, it is that medium thickness. It continues all throughout the interior of the shoe, so that's why it's not going to be that breathable. So that's something you want to have into consideration, especially if you're the type of people that have maybe foot problems because you sweat a lot. So that's something to consider moving forward. And one last detail, as you know, we always try to be honest in these shoe videos because we try to bring the best information to you guys. I don't know if I was the only person that had this problem. In the comments, let me know if you have something similar. But for me, I had a quality control issue with both these shoes. For some reason, when I wore this shoe, when I was walking in the pair, I could hear like this sound. It kind of sounded like a sticky type sound. And I thought maybe it's going to be the bottom of the shoe because it's brand new. You know, when they removed the traction from the mold, maybe there's some sort of material that got stuck at the bottom that you really can't see that's invisible. So I tried to wipe that off and it still wouldn't go away. Not just that, but just on the right shoe, when you walk, you hear this popping sound right here, and you can feel it inside the shoe internally. Like there's some sort of pressure when you walk that something pops. And I don't know what that could be. Maybe it's something wrong with the strobe unit inside. And the only thing I can pin down to that other sound, that kind of sticky sound, is the insert. Maybe they put too much glue on the insert when they put it inside the shoe. Then when you walk, you just hear that noise. And I feel if you're going to be paying $150 for a basketball shoe, maybe to play on the court or just to wear, you don't want to be having those type of problems. So that's something I wanted to bring to your attention, just so you're aware of it. Some final thoughts on this shoe. I do want to mention, I do love the color design of this shoe. It gives you this dark vibe and kind of slick feel to it. And it does look really rad, so you're going to look real good on the basketball court. Also, the breathability of this shoe we mentioned is not going to be the best out there. Only the tongue section is going to be where you're going to get the most ventilation. Very good lockdown and secure feel. It's a shoe that does a little bit of everything, and the traction is going to be very good for indoors. The price tag is going to be 150 USD. It's a shoe, like I mentioned, I do recommend. Just hopefully you don't have the quality control issues that I had. And with all that said, these were the KD15s, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.